All right, I'm out here finishing up one project, and I'm sure you have seen this already in my previous video. If you haven't, go check it out. But finishing up the last of these right now, and I decided to go ahead and start another project. Reason being, because someone had asked me to build them a guitar, so I'm working on building that guitar. But I also have this box here. It's a box that comes in its own box. Look at this. Pretty awesome. Let me take this lid off of here. Boom. Pretty cool. It's the Davidoff, I don't know. Year of the Rabbit. Pretty cool. And it's got this fancy little insert. So, you know, I like to do a scarf joint for the neck, and I like to also make it a wider headstock. So I'm thinking about at least trying to get the rabbit and the year of the rabbit. So I'll try to get this material laminated to the headstock. That's the plan. Now, the only issue is the inside of this box. Most boxes, you know, they have some inserts in them or something, and you can pull this stuff out. But this is, you know, I guess routed out. I don't know. It's supposed to look like rabbit cubbies or whatever, and this is what the cigars go in. But I need to cut a channel so that the neck can go inside of here, and you can see I got some lines here and some lines here. So I've kind of done some measuring already, and what I've come up with is I created a jig. So I was out here working the other day and had some scrap wood. So this is the jig that I've come up with, and let me clear off a spot here, and I'll kind of show you what I plan to do. Hopefully this plan works. This is a really nice box. I don't want to screw it up. I guess some people would say, well, it's a collector, man, you should just not cut it up, but that's not what I do. I like to build cigar box guitars, so that's what's going to happen with this box. All right, there you go. Yep. I'll turn this down a little bit so you can see the box. Lay it out of the way. So this, you see how it is on the inside. It fits right down over. There you go. It slides right down over the top of the box. And so this is the channel that'll get routed out to create a recess. See, this fits in there really nicely. So this is going to be the heel. So yeah, this is how it would recess in there. Pretty awesome, I think. So there you go. That's the plan. And so I guess I'll check in with you. You know, I usually chronicle my builds, and you know, I don't want to bore you with the same old. So more than likely what I'll do is I'll just cut in and show you the unique parts. So once I get the headstock all glued up and I get ready to laminate this, I'll show you that part, because you know, I always have to cut the thickness down of the headstock so they can receive the tuners, and then I have to cut it down even more to account, so I can account for the thickness of this, and then make sure I got a good weld before I cut up the headstock. So that's the plan. We'll see how successful. Oh yeah, so you know, the writing is kind of gold, so we've got a little gold mini humbucker, and I'm going to use a gold hardtail bridge. And I think I'm thinking for this one, I don't know yet, but I'm thinking for this one probably no sound holes. Just, you know, it's an electric guitar, so no sound holes. I don't want to cut this lid up too much. I mean, this thing is pretty. And then I got to figure out how to contend with this on the back. This is a piece that's glued to it, and this is what it kind of suctions itself down on the box. That's how the box closes. So I think I want to keep these corners at least. So that'll help center this as I put it back. So I don't want to cut all of this out. But I at least need to cut probably the channel for the neck, right? Because I don't know. So a couple decisions I still need to make as I'm getting ready to cut this thing up. But there you go. That's the beginnings. I figured I would go ahead and get this out here and show you guys, and we'll see what happens. Okay. In the process I use to build these, once I get the neck to this point and I get the headstock shaped out, then it's time to glue on the fretboard. But I can't glue on the fretboard till I get this fitted to the box. So that means now I gotta cut this box. So I told you I'd show you when I got the headstock. So this is how I did it. I wanted to go a little longer, so you can see how it is up here. I don't know if I'm going to change that or not, but I really like the way that looks. I think it came out nice. Obviously still got some cleanup to do, but we're not to that point yet. So what I did was I put the lid on this box. Man, I'm trying not to mess this thing up. And then I put a piece of tape up front here, and I kind of figured out where I want this, because you always want a little bit of overhang, right? The fretboard is going to be above the lid, but I need a little bit more than that, just a touch, like a 16th. So I made a mark on the outside of the box. Then I took my combination square and I kind of lined it up with that mark. And I added the thickness to the box, or actually that accounts for the thickness of the box. So I did that. Then I need to account for the thickness of this piece right here. So I added that thickness. Before I move this, I made a little mark inside the box, and I know that you probably can't see it, but it's right down yogi-ish. So I made the mark based off of this line. I added the thickness of the template to it, and I put it back in there to see if it matched up with that line, and it does. So we are at the point of no return, because I gotta cut this thing in order to, you know, get after the neck. So we're about to do it. So I made an adjustment. Man, I hate messing with pine. I pre-drilled this and it's still split, but it's not. This is not about looks. So that's made me a little stop here on the back. You can see this is all wonky back here. I thought I could freehand a straight line, and obviously I cannot. So what this is when I get to the back of the box, this will help me keep this piece right here straight. All right, so I put some thought into it. I've let this sit for a while. I've had this jig built for over a month, and I've just kind of been slow leaking this thing. So, but now it's time to get it. So that's what we're gonna do. So there we go. Jig is in the box, or the jig is over this thing. Got the height adjusted on my router. Clamp this down. Trying to make this hopefully go as smooth as possible. All right, let's see how we did. All right, yeah. This is going to be awesome. I can see it already. Yep. This is going to be awesome. So you'll notice it didn't go all the way. Let's see. Can you see that? It's kind of rounded right here, which means I can take a little file or rasp, a piece of sandpaper, and make that as tight as possible. All right. I guess you call that full commit. Okay, a couple things. I know in that video, at one time I had the router turned around backwards. That's just because of the way I locked it in. I wasn't gonna undo it and flip it around, so I just started out with the router backwards and then I turned it around. You can also see on the neck here, I kept drawing lines. So this was my first cut, but it was still a little too high in the box. So I just kept whittling away at it. So now this is where the top of this part comes down to. So if I take this, remember this has got this piece on the inside, so I'm flipping it over backwards, just so you can see. And I don't know if this video is doing it justice or not, but you can see there's like just about a 1/16 above the top of that lid, and that's what I'm looking for. So I put the fretboard on here and it'll go right over the top, and there'll be just a small little gap. So took a couple of passes to get it to the exact height that I wanted it in the box. So now I need to cut it down so the lid will close down over the top of it. So I'm going to do all of that, and then once I do that, I can glue the fretboard on. And actually I haven't even cut the fret slots yet on the fretboard, so I guess I'll do that, and then I'll glue the fretboard on. Oh my goodness, I got some stuff to do. But there you go, and it fits in there nicely. It's nice and tight, square in the box. Yeah, I think this is going to work. This is pretty cool. Guess we'll find out together, huh? All right. Okay, here's the plan. I got the neck cut out so that it fits inside the box nicely. But remember, I still have this piece under here I got to contend with. So I'm leaning towards just cutting a channel. So I put tape on the front to protect it, and I've cut this out here. I believe there's like a piece of wood or something that this material is glued to. So My plan is to raise the saw blade to just the thickness of this. Run this channel on my table saw and chisel out this channel so then it'll fit nicely over the top. That's what I'm gonna try. If that don't work, we'll move to plan B. And I'll let you know what plan B is as soon as I figure that out, if I have to. All right, lid fits. Now obviously, you know, before final assembly, I'll have to do some minor adjustments. Now, this piece wasn't glued on there as good as I thought. So look, there's the middle piece and here's one of the end pieces. This other end piece stayed on here. Oh, goodness gravy, come on. Yeah, it stayed on, but it'll come right off, it'll pop right off. But I'm going to leave it on here to help me get this centered in the box. So when I drill the screw holes to hold the lid down, once I get those like these done up here, so then I'll remove this, that way I can screw those in and drill this so it'll be flush and beautiful, and which is probably better because I mean I would think that having like this material in here underneath the lid would probably deaden some of the sound, and I don't necessarily think that's a good thing. And it's not glued on there that good, so chances are it could fall off. I mean it's on there, but once you pry it a little bit, it came right off. But center section thing worked, just didn't end up being what I'm gonna do. So there you go. All right, so important thing is now I can go cut my frets and I can get the fretboard glued up for this bad boy, which is a step in the right direction. Finally getting this thing completed. All right. All right, there's a look at the inside. I'm about to close this thing up. There's the neck. You can see those two lines there. I thought I was going to have to cut a relief for the humbucker, but there's no need. It doesn't need to go down any further than into the wood, so that's good. And then this piece right here is to accept the screws for the bridge, so I've kind of cut a relief in the neck for that. And the only other place I had to do some cutting was right there for my input jack and for the pots. So here we go, button this thing up, see what happens. there it is. That's the Year of the Rabbit. I did not cut sound holes into this box. I do not believe this box needs sound holes. I think it looks good, just like it is. Just the pickup and the bridge and the knobs on there. I did get some little fancy knobs. I got little, I think, eagles on them or something. But it's just gold hardtail bridge, gold mini humbucker. I don't know if you got a good look at it. I was able to get the Year of the Rabbit laminated to the top. There's the sides, so you can see. And I did these straight across here, you know, just so you could still read the words. And put this one up here in the ear. There you go. This thing came out nice, really awesome. Input jack, and it's got strap buttons here and here, so you can put a strap button here and here, put it on, or a strap, I guess, where you could tie something back here and then kind of loop it through the neck here, which probably gives it a little better balance if you're gonna strap this thing on like this. There are solder, well, they're burned in diamonds in the front. You really can't see it probably at that distance, but they are on the fretboard. Yeah, and then there are patterns on the side. So this is maple and rosewood. Rosewood fretboard, rosewood heel. Very, very cool. Kind of a fun build. This thing came out nice. It plays good. Man, I need somebody to demo this thing for me. I know I didn't do it justice, but I'm telling you, it sounds awesome. And I think somebody that really knew what they were doing with this thing could really tear it up. So thanks for checking out this video. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And thanks for watching.